Right guys, back with another review. Safer Vapers, Big Tom.
Damien.
We're going to be doing the Eroll from Joyetech today. This was given by a close friend of ours, Russ, from a shop in Wombwell, known as the...
Totally inspired. I don't know, he's asked from his fucking elbow. You just keep vaping, Tom. That's what you're good at. Leave the talking to me, you just keep vaping. No problem. It's a nice device actually.
Cool.
I mean, it's a cigalike really. It's not really like one of these beasts. It's very small, it's compact, it's sleek looking. And yeah, it's a nice piece. It's a 90 mAh battery inside the device, so therefore you're only going to get about 20 minutes vape time. But however, it does come with a PCC, a portable charging case, which is 1100 milliamps. So basically, it's like having a packet of cigarettes. It's that all-day vaping has gone. Chain vaping has gone with an Eroll. So you basically, if you're at work or something, you go outside for your cigarette, you open up your case, you take out your Eroll, you have a vape. Probably you get about, on a full charge, about 20 minutes vape out of this. Then it runs out. You put it back in its case to charge, in your pocket, back to work you go. For your next fag break, it will be charging for you. So chain vaping is gone with an Eroll. It comes in a very sleek case. I like this case. It looks like an iPhone.
It does, yeah.
Yeah. Let's just hope we don't make any mistakes. And go, can't send a text in this bastard. You know, and every time your phone goes, you go, hello, hello. You know, but it's very sleek. It's very stylish. And for me, it'd be a great little starting package. If you're considering putting down the stinkies once and for all, this is a very stylised and a very sleek and a very hard-hitting little cigalike. It's very impressive. It's very strong.
It is.
On the throat.
If this was out when we first started vaping, I definitely would have gone for one of these.
I mean, when I first started, I think I went for a Nicolite cigarette thing. It looked just like a cigarette. I mean, you can see this is all black. It's kind of like one of them Sobranis that my mum used to smoke at Christmas. But yeah, it's very nice. It does have a little atomizer head that goes inside, which I will show you on the close-up, and it holds about 0.5 ml of juice. So once again, chain vaping is gone out of the window. If you are a starter, then this is perfect. If you are a heavy chain vapor and want to cut down, this ain't a little bad way to go, because it hits ridiculously hard for what it is. Yeah,
and that it is got really good vapour as well. It is really cool. It's hard, great vapour.
It is. It's really nice. It's got a good flavour to it as well, and that would be due to the atomizer heads inside. It looks great. I love the PCC.
Something I'd take out, like maybe on a night out. Go instead of taking your baton.
It's ultimate stealth vaping really with one of these. There are a couple of issues that I've found with it that I'm not too keen on. It does have the air hole about there on the cigalike, on the Eroll. The air hole is there near the stamp, the approved stamp. So that sort of thing would be blocking the air hole. And it does get quite warm.
Yeah, really
it gets quite warm in the middle. It does get quite hot. Maybe that's due to us vaping it as we do. But if you are on a fag break, you know what it is. You go out and you basically rip crap out of your cigarette until it's gone, don't you? So, I mean, it's not just you can't just keep going at this one. It gets warm.
But you do have two with it.
You do.
You do it two with the kit.
You do get two batteries with the kit. Unfortunately, the PCC only charges one at a time. So it's basically a one-in, one-out situation. And this charges simply via a USB cable or an adapter for the plug in the wall. But it is very sleek. It's very hard. I do have one slight issue with it, and I'm going to be totally honest. It's an expensive little piece of kit. I think to buy this, in Totally Inspired, which is a brick and mortar shop, it comes to about £58. And if you're going to search for it online, it's still around £50 to £55, so there's not much of a difference there. But once again, compared to smoking cigarettes, I mean, it's a lot cheaper. It will last you a good while. but yeah, it does have a hefty price tag on it for what it is.
And it does have the, so you do change your atomizer heads on it as well. I think they come in around about £4, which probably lasts about a week, 2 weeks.
It depends on your vaping.
Yeah, if you're going to be smoking it hard every day, you know, you're going to be changing them every 2 weeks. But £4 every 2 weeks, packet of fags, £7 every day. There's a bit of a difference, let's be honest.
Yeah.
So it is, you are saving money. And then if you're wanting to start on something like that and moving to something else, or wanting to keep on that, then it's definitely a great starter kit.
I wouldn't have a problem vaping this. I love my rebuildable atomizers. I love my mechanical mods. I like things that hit hard. But to tell you honest truth, you know, you do get some looks when you're out and about. You can't carry something maybe like a Nemesis with a K-Fun 3.1 ES around in your pocket. It looks like probably you have an explosive device. It's well worth keeping out of airports whilst vaping on one of them. But I would use this, you know. Recently I was at a party, and I was in the bar area, and I'm walking around with my great big mechanical mod. It's a talking piece though. Something like that does get people to approach you and ask you what it is and what it's all about, and maybe to have a vape on it. That's good, but I did feel that I'd have been more comfortable with something a bit more compact in my hands, not creating so much attention for myself. And something like this is perfect, and it is so much better than a cigalike or something that you buy out of your local newsagents or something, because it does give you a great throat hit. It does produce a nice little bit of vapour, and it is sleek, and definitely great with the little PCC that you can just throw in your pocket like you would have back in the day with a pack of cigarettes. In it goes, and now it's charging. It's charging for your next smoking session, or vaping session. Vaping session, do excuse me. It's even made me cough a little bit, chain vaping on that bastard. Anyway, what we'll do now is we're going to go down to the table. I'm going to show you what comes in the box. I'm going to show you how to fill it, and I'm going to show you how to change the atomizer head. So we'll see you in a minute, guys. All right. So here you have your Eroll as it comes in the box. A nice big box. And you are greeted by your PCC, personal charging case, and your e-cig. You have your warranty card, which is a 90-day warranty from Joyetech. And underneath you have your instruction manual. Very handy if you're a first-time user. You have a USB cable for charging. You have 2 atomizer heads, look like that. You have another atomizer tank, so you get 2. One's already in the e-cig. And you have 2 Carto tanks for filling with your juice, and a spare battery. So yeah, inside the e-cig, that is your tank that contains the juice. That goes on the top. Here you have your atomizer tube that holds the atomizer head in, and your atomizer. So basically on assembly you put your atomizer into the battery, atomizer tube over the top, and then your cartomizer goes in the bottom. And I'm filling with juice. Just find some juice here. It's pretty simple. You get your juice, put it into the top of the Carto tank, squeeze some juice in there. Only contains ½ ml, so be careful when filling not to get it all over you. Put it into your atomizer tank, and vape away. Brilliant.
Alright guys, after having a close look at the Eroll, it's definitely one of the kits for you starter guys, or if you're wanting to cut down from chain vaping. Do definitely get one of these. It's really cool. As I say, going on a night out or wanting to cut back, it's definitely one of them. As we're saying about the price is a bit steep.
It is costly compared to some of the other things that you can get out there, but I mean, it's durable. It does come with its own PCC or portable charging case. It does look slick. It is very stylish, and it definitely is a hard hitter. It's got a great throat hit on it, especially. So it probably is recommended for if you just come off of smoking. The throat hit is absolutely bang on. Pretty impressed by it. And like I said, the style of it is great. And I do love the fact that it's only a 90 mAh battery, so therefore you don't have any other option but to put it back in its case and charge it for a little longer. As I was talking to Tom earlier, since vaping, obviously your vapor or your electronic or your PV or whatever doesn't really leave a lot of our vapors' hands, and we are constantly on these things all day and all night, chain vaping. So this does get you back to that state of having to put it back into the packet and having a breather, having a gap, having a break. So you're not constantly at it all day. It is more replicating the feel of a cigarette than a lot of other things out there. Like I said, you have to put it back in your packet, get it back out of its packet. It'd be great for if you're at work, personally, because then you could go out and have your break depending on what your work allows. If it allows you to vape, that's great. Take the biggest fucking mod you got in your arsenal and go for it. If not, when you're stepping outside, then you're having your vape, you're putting it back in its packet, and then you're going back into work and waiting for your next break. So that it does have its benefits for, and it replicates that feeling of smoking that we once loved and adored. And so yeah, the price, it's still a small price to pay to put them nasty cancer sticks down for good. So at the end of the day, you know, £50, if you're buying a pack of cigarettes every day, it's cheaper than a week's worth. So yeah, it's
definitely is.
It's a good. It's easy to refill, as you saw. It's easy to change the atomizer heads. I mean, it might be a little bit of a struggle to get some every now and then. You can't basically just walk in any old high street newsagents or something like that, like you would with a cigalike to change its cartomizers. You can get these obviously at Totally Inspired in Wombwell, South Yorkshire, where this one came from, and they do have them online at like UK e-cig store and other places if you look for it. So yeah, I mean, and if you're around the Wombwell, South Yorkshire area, go into Totally Inspired. I'll have the website above my head there. Go and meet Russ. Russ is a fantastic guy. He helps organise the campaign for vaping in pubs. We hold raffles each and every first Tuesday of every month and the third Wednesday of every month at different locations around South Yorkshire. He's a good supporter of vaping, and he does a lot of good for the vaping community. And he owns his own brick and mortar store where people come in and can find out a little bit more about it. He also sells things like this there, a lot of juices from Totally Wicked, and yeah, a good guy. And thank you very much for letting us have a vape on this thing.
Yeah.
It looks very stylish. I think my wife is after one personally, and yeah, it's top quality.
Yeah,
it feels expensive. It looks expensive. I like the fact that the LED is blue on the end, so it, you know, even when you're vaping it as well, it glows up blue. That's pretty pucker. I like that. The cigarettes that I first started on did absolutely replicate a cigarette and looked red at the end. They had the red glow, and you know, we want to avoid that as vapers. We want to separate ourselves from smoking as much as possible, and so yeah, this is great. It's great for starting, and it's also great for cutting back on your vapor if so required. So yeah, point system for look wise, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah,
I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I like it.
For the chargeable kit, the charger itself is cool. The actual vapor itself is just a looking cigarette. It's just a black slit line looking cigarette.
I said it reminds me of a Sobrani that
Yeah.
my mum used to smoke when I was little. At Christmas, used to get ourselves a packet of Sobranis. It kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah, but I think the case for me is the seal of the deal. It does look slick. It is cool. Easy in the pocket. Go outside, have a vape, and that's it. You know, you've done and dusted.
For iPhone users, be careful not to try and make a call on it, because you won't get no reception. You can't play Angry Birds on it or anything like that. Now that would be something, wouldn't it? Right? If you had an iPhone with a cigarette in the middle of it, but yeah, that'd be great. You know, Apple, let's talk.
We have ideas.
Yeah, we got ideas for you, mate. The smoking iPhone S, iPhone V. Gotta stop saying smoking, haven't I? Vaping. Yeah, but yeah, it looks great. It's it does look expensive, and it feels expensive as well.
It does.
For vapor production and for throat hit, it's a 9. It's for what it is. It's very, very impressive. I was shocked. I filled this up. I put the Atty in. I gave it a few pulls, and I coughed up a little bit because I wasn't expecting how hard this hit on the throat, which was very, very impressive indeed. You know, it's amazing for the size of it, the power of the battery, how hard it hits in the back of your throat. It does only hold 0.5 ml of juice, so that is pretty useless for me. But like I said, for anybody who wants to cut down, or for anyone just making the step over into the electronic cigarette market, it is perfect, you know, and it does replicate that feel of smoking once again.
Having something to hold in your hand rather than holding it with a big Ferrari, having actually holding a cigarette like a cigarette. It's that's what you miss the most. That's why I missed, having something in your hand to.
It is a nice, unique touch. But for usability, there are a couple of issues with it. The air hole is a little bit in the wrong position, because if you was a smoker like I was and held your cigarette in that certain position, you are going to block the air hole. That is pretty much a problem for me. And also, it gets warm. It really does get warm, and the section where the atomizer head is, so be mindful about that. Don't panic, it does get warm, that's just the way it is. 90 mAh battery, so once again you are going to have to take breaks in between vaping it. You are going to have to put it back into your PCC, make sure that is charged as well. But that is 1100 mAh, so therefore that is going to last you for an all-day vape, especially if you're going to have to put it back and leave it for a little bit. So very impressive, you know, very impressive. So yeah, all in all, an 8 out of 10 for what it is. A great start up, a great cut down for chain vapors, and it looks good as well. You know, definitely for the yuppie vapor out there. Anyway, thanks guys, I hope you enjoyed the review, and we'll see you on the next one. Safe.